All right, second and eighth periods. So today your task is to finish the outline of your essay, which is worth 35% of your final exam grade, and then to start the draft of the actual essay itself. So when you go to do that, you can start with just your thesis statement. You don't need to write a full introduction. You can come back to it if you have the time to, but for right now you can start with your introduction statement, flesh out your 2 APEC paragraphs that you outlined in your outline, and then write a concluding statement. So let's look through your packet and find the right places to look for what you need to do today. You're going to start with your outline. You need to finish up your outline. Here are the issues that I've seen so far looking through the outlines that you guys started. Pretty good thesis statements. That worked well when we did that in class together. Your assertions, mostly pretty good. Make sure that your assertion is something you can back up with evidence. If you can't find facts in your documents to back up your assertion, then you need to adjust your assertion to make sure that it can be supported by evidence from the documents. Here's where it gets a little tricky. Oh, you can't see. Here's where it gets a little tricky. Explain how the document supports your assertion. So if your explanation is not an explanation, you're just telling what information is in the document, then you have not explained yet. You need to say, here's the information from document P, and here's what that information has to do with my assertion. So here's why that information tells me that the Mongols had barbaric war practices. Or here's why that information tells me that the Mongols were a super organized and civilized people who don't deserve to be called barbaric. Whatever your response is, make sure you're saying how the fact from the document backs it up. So you guys did a really good job of identifying documents, but sometimes when you thought you were explaining how they backed up your assertion, you were really just describing the factual information in the document. The second thing that most people need to look at in your outlines is down here at the bottom, the conclusion and connection. So your conclusion number 1, good, I'm pointing to the right one, conclusion number 1 is going to transition you from assertion 1 to assertion 2. So this is a connecting statement. You are connecting from paragraph 1 to paragraph 2. At the end of paragraph 2, you're starting to wrap up your essay. So you can go ahead and write a concluding statement here. But this first one is more of a connection rather than a conclusion. This is taking me from paragraph 1 to paragraph 2. When you are ready to start drafting the essay itself, you're going to find the step 6 essay draft section of your packet, and this is where your draft should go. You have your class time today to draft. You will have your class time next week on Tuesday to draft. On Thursday of next week, we will have an opportunity for peer editing, and then you will turn in the final version of your essay next week on June 11th if you are in second period, and June 13th if you are in 8th period. Seniors, your due dates are a little bit different here. Seniors in second period, your final exam period is June 1st, so your essay is due by the end of class on June 1st. And seniors in 8th period, your final exam period is June 5th, so your essay is due by the end of class on June 5th. Ladies and gentlemen, remember, this is your final exam activity. That means that you work alone, and it means that you work without conversation or collaboration. This is not an essay that you and your friend are writing together. This is your own individual work. If your essay and your friend's essay have evidence of plagiarism or collaboration, then you will not receive credit for your final exam. You will have a 0, and you will endanger your grade for the year. So please make good choices today while I am out of the building. Thank you.